in the middle of the night, 2:30 in the morning is the middle of the night, right? It's not the morning. It's the middle of the night.
Yeah.
LeBron James, put it on the poll, Juju, at Le Batard Show. 2:30 a.m., middle of the night or middle of the morning?
I feel like
that might be
mid-morning-
100%.
Yeah, no, I feel like mid-morning is like, 10 o'clock.
AM is morning. AM is morning, is it not?
I think for what Dan's talking about, 4 a.m. is when it's not last night anymore. It's early morning. Like
Right.
If I'm waking up at 4 a.m. for a flight, it's the morning.
When does the morning end? At noon?
Like 3:59. Oh, no, I get what you're saying. On the back end, yeah,
Right.
at 11:59.
So mid-morning is roughly
the morning
like 10,
ends
right?
at 11:59 p.m.?
No, a.m.
AM, yeah.
In the middle of the morning last night, LeBron James tweeted an hourglass. I love that. I love it.
What does he mean by that?
What do you think he means by that?
I know what he means.
That the
Time's running out.
The Super Bowl's getting a lot of attention, and he wants to still be in the news?
Can he just sleep? Like, just sleep.
Sleep, enjoy a Sunday night dinner with the family, do anything. Enough of this.
And wait a minute. It said 2:30. Does that mean that's your 2:30? So he's on the West Coast.
No,
That's
they were
11:30.
They were in Atlanta.
Okay,
Oh,
and
never
then,
mind.
2:30.
and then they're going to Boston.
Right.
So they were probably about to hop on a bird, or they were on a bird, and he was bored, and he was like, "Watch this, gang." Mm-hmm. And then
A
he
single
tweets it out.
emoji of
Yeah.
controversy.
It's interesting. Someone asked me, a friend of mine asked me, if the Knicks could get LeBron James next year, would you want him? And I said no.
You're a liar.
No, the window is closed.
Shut up.
He's a looter and a riot. I'm serious. I know he's putting up great numbers.
Let my boy cook.
There's no one on that team. There is absolutely nobody on that team.
Anthony Davis is playing all the games and is still very good.
I understand. And the team's not very good because LeBron's not as good as he used to be. I don't want to deal with LeBron at the age of 39, 40, 41. You had your chance to come to the Knicks. It's not like he's floating the idea out there. A friend asked me. So I don't know why I'm blasting him. I just don't want him anymore. Because the second you get him, you know what you get? In the middle of the morning, okay? You get, some sort of, hey, clock is ticking. I don't want to deal with the clock is ticking. I want Jalen Brunson to be Jalen Brunson.
It's not a
I want
ticking
Randall
clock.
to
It's
be
an
Randall.
hourglass.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
not-
like it. Whatever it
it's a
is.
different emoji.
It's a measurement of time.
It is.
Right.
It is.
I don't want a measurement of time.
Okay.
I want Brunson to be Brunson. I want Thibodeau to be Thibodeau. I don't want LeBron coming in thinking he can get rid of Thibodeau. He can't. Okay, he's done a great job. He has turned the Knicks around. I do not want LeBron James.
You
Don't want him.
You don't want a measurement of time, but you're going to be with Flavor Flav at the Super Bowl, who's famous for his measurement of time.
He's allowing me to stay in his house.
Another take on the heels of LeBron having 36 and 20.
I don't
at
care.
age 57 or
He's
whatever
also
he is.
coming off a championship, Stugotz.
Did they win?
If somebody-
the in-season.
The
right?
last championship
IST,
that anybody
yeah.
played for.
Yeah.
If somebody has
Do
one
it in the regular
If
season.
somebody has
He
one
did.
of these hourglasses or minute glasses on their desk and they use it in a real way, like when someone walks in, all right, let's have a conversation. All right, let's flip this. Like, I want to punch you in the face.
Nobody
if you have
does
one of
that.
those.
Nobody
Nah,
does that.
there are people out there.
No.
People with a lot of people with corner offices. You walk into a corner office, they flip over it's probably like a minute, 2 minutes, and they go, all right, your time starts here. Go
Yeah.
ahead. What do you got?
But, Dan, don't you think, like, you're 39, the act has gotten old. Like, you have an opt-in next year, a player opt-in at $51 million. If you're the Lakers, you're like, all right, if he opts in, great. If he opts out, great.
Windhorse is saying that it's not a certainty that he will come back. And last night, the hourglass, or yesterday morning, or this morning, hey,
Mid-morning.
Whatever, mid-morning.
Can you design an hourglass for a specific time? Because we could do one for our
Yes.
segment lengths.
Yes.
Like, could we do one for 12 minutes and 30 seconds, and then we flip it over at the start of a segment, and we end when it's about to be
How many grains of sand would be 12 minutes and 20 seconds?
That's for you to find out.
Well,
buddy.
how big is the sand? How fine is it?
Chris Cody, can you get for me, please, the sound of Mad Dog stammering? Where was this in his hysteria? He is rage-filled. He doesn't understand. It's one of the funniest things, Stugotz, I've seen happen in sports, and you and Cody bring it to life every Tuesday. Being vigilantly against information. It's just so, being angrily.
It's more fun just to yell out, autograph!
I know, but it's one of the greatest things I've seen in sports.
Too much.
Just rage about, that's it. I'm tapped out on information. Not one morsel more. I will get mad at you. I've got this file. It's got autogram in it. I have enough information. That's the amount of information my brain can carry. And so here's Mad Dog getting mad.
All the dopes on Twitter are backing you up. The data freaks who wouldn't know Lombardi for Paul Brown. Never heard of autogram. Kenny Stabler, Madden. Wouldn't know him if they fell on him.
If Madden fell on you, you wouldn't know.
You would know.
They do football via math. That's not how you do football.
He's right.
Oh, my God, what a loss.
This is so good, Dan and Stugotz, because we're probably going to talk to him next week at Radio Row, right? So, like, this is very good for, like, note-taking so you know exactly what to set him off with. Like, I already...
The data freaks
I have just written down, mention an abacus.
who wouldn't know Lombardi for Paul Brown.
Staples, man.
Never heard of autogram. Kenny Stabler, Madden. Wouldn't know him if they fell on him.
Put it on the poll, Juju. Would you know if a dead John Madden fell on you?
He's wrong about that one, but the others he's dead on.
Oh, my God. What?
Would you recognize a dead John Madden if he fell on you?
Boom.
Oh, my God. Again, just so that you know, because that's $10,000 a show on First Take, and it's his second job. And underpaid.
No doubt.
And underpaid. Aggressively against information. He stopped gathering information in 1974 with Daryl LaMonica, and that's where the whole thing ended.
Dopes on Twitter are backing you up. The data freaks.
The data freaks. You freaks.
Hell yeah. Who's the freakiest data guy out there?
Huh.
Just getting dirty with it.
He's been using some of those same names
Since then. That's
the
right.
80s.
Since inventing sports radio.
And I still laugh.
Yes.
You want to know autogram?
Put a picture up of autogram so that people can see what's
that him?
happening here.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Is that autogram or is it LaMonica?
The data freaks.
It's autogram. Again, in the days of no face masks.
At least he got to Kenny Stabler.
Chris Cody, one of the staples around here of us doing this is us getting things spectacularly wrong. I said that Tom Brady was in decline 8 years before he retired. Stugotz is rivaling me with his recent Mahomes takery to be more wrong somehow than I was. Both of us deadly wrong on two of the greatest quarterbacks anyone has ever seen. I have asked Chris Cody to put together a segment that is just you're wrong, the most wrong person of the week. And he's gotten some imaging. It takes weeks around here to get anything done. We finally got some imaging. Can you guys help me pick which you like best?
Yeah, we have a bunch of these here. I'm going to play the first one here.
We're gonna tell everybody that you are so wrong. You tried to sound confident, but you look like a dog. I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I'm telling the world how awful your take was, and you are the world.
Lovely, a little slower, a bit of a mood killer, but lovely.
No long.
What else?
You want something a little more something to it?
You are so wrong. You gotta risk to let it go. Baby, everybody know you're wrong, wrong. I heard you taking your blows. You gotta risk to let it go. Never let everybody know you're wrong.
Man, Yeti really belting that one out.
Are we going to do better than that? Let's see if we can do any better than that.
I was going to play that one. I mean, Yeti is just...
Baby, everybody know
got that from the loins, Dano.
I can
Deserves
feel.
a second
I
flag.
hear his loins. I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I hear them. His loins. It's these loins are singing. It's not him. Anyway, that started.
great
It
loins.
started in his nether regions. It did. Nothing brings our listeners more joy than us being that wrong.
And now we have one for when Greg Cody is wrong.
You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. Oh, you're so wrong. You're so wrong.
So the leader in the clubhouse this week is
For me, this is just like this is gonna be the leader in the clubhouse until we hear something better.
we are debuting the segment, and this right now is our first ballot Hall of Famer. And I remember, I think the wrestler's name, the champion wrestler, Anthony Robles, he won a heavy division with one leg. And it was the Sports Center play of the day because you had to beat the play of the day for like the whole year because good luck beating that. All right, good luck beating this, people.
Go ahead, Andy Reid. I dare you to go 14-2 and allow Alex Smith to leave Arrowhead Stadium to leave Kansas City. Go ahead, I dare you. Because of Patrick Mahomes. Because you think you could turn Patrick Mahomes into something that Alex Smith is not. Alex Smith is a very good quarterback. The audacity, first off, to do this to Alex Smith, who's been very good and loyal to Andy Reid and won him a lot of football games, to dangle Patrick Mahomes out there because Andy Reid thinks he's some sort of quarterback whisperer, which he is not, by the way. He is not, because if he was, Alex Smith would be better than he's been the last few years. So I dare.
That's a record for contradiction.
It's on Andy Reid.
The
only reason Alex Smith is not better is Andy Reid.
That sets a world record for Stugotz not paying attention to any of the things he said the sentence before. This game's not going to work. We're not.
You're wrong, 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 wrong.
We're not going to be able to beat that, though. I mean, it's not.
You are so wrong.
It's unbeatable.
That's not the way to start this.
The year after Stugotz said that,
Yeah.
Mahomes threw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns.
You're wrong, 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 wrong.
He's about to play in his 4th Super Bowl.
You're wrong, 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 wrong.
He's 4-2 in championship games in the AFC. He's been to 6.
I picture Yeti sort of like the Bradley Cooper, Leonard Bernstein character in the opera. He's just
Hanging microphone.
that he's so happy by how wrong we are that the bottom half under his ass comes to life and just births a volcano of song.
That trailing.
But that starts in the floor. It's like a pitching motion of someone who throws 140 miles an hour. Like it comes through his bottom. We've got to get to the Iowa correspondent like no other, Stugotz. We are cornering the market everywhere in the universe in Iowa news. No one in sports covers it better than we do nationally. Give her the imaging when Chris Cody tried to grab something from his loins.
Lucy Rohden, Iowa correspondent.
It's pretty good. It is.
It's just not Chris.
That's all natural.
It is. It is.
Lucy Rohden, Iowa correspondent.
I love it.
What news do we have in the godforsaken Iowa football program?
We have bad news, Dan. Normally, I try to be upbeat, I try to be positive, try to be lovely. Not today. Because after 3 months, Iowa hired an offensive coordinator. And they hired one who got fired for being really bad at offense.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
They hired Tim Lester, former Western Michigan head coach, who was fired after his offense finished 124th nationally. Yeah, which is tough, but I believe Iowa was 129th, so we are moving up on the list.
Wow. That's like almost how you'd write it in fiction.
Yeah, it's my rock bottom, and I thought my rock bottom was 3 weeks ago when we asked Paul Chris, hey, you want to be the offensive coordinator? And he was like, no, thank you. I would rather be an offensive analyst at Texas than get paid a crap ton more money to work for Kirk Ferentz. And Kirk did this Championship Sunday. on purpose.
To hide it?
To hide it. And I think he's doing all this to spite us, to say, you know what? You didn't like my kid, I'm going to find someone worse. So we miss Brian. It is awful. It is so miserable that we waited 3 months, and this is the best you got? The former offensive coordinator at Syracuse, who broke some stupid record of playing the entire season under the same snap cadence? The entire season! Every single play! And he's in charge of my offense now? Dan,
Lucy.
I can't live like this anymore.
Lucy, if I hear what you're saying, it sounds like the under's back.
And the worst part
We are back.
is Chris was the first person I thought
Yep.
of. He's going to be so happy by this news because we're never going to score points ever, and I'm going to be miserable. And you know who I blame? I blame my ancestors because when they immigrated to the United States, they went to Iowa. They could have gone to Georgia or something, and I'd be a lot happier.
Yeah.
It's their fault.
This is a great deal of family resentment that you
Yup.
have.
Also, they changed our last name. It was like a very normal last name, and then they went with Rohden, and it's like they didn't even think that I would potentially be on sports, TV one day. That was really rude, too.
What was it before?
It was supposed to be like Johnson. Like, that was the name they had. And they were like, no, let's switch it up. Let's
I like
make
your
it-
name better. I gotta be
hate
honest.
my name.
Really?
It's so gross.
Lucy Rohden, Iowa correspondent.
It's just bad. It's just so bad. Kirk is trying to ruin my life.
I do like your theory of Kirk Ferentz at the end of his career sort of bitterly showing everyone who's boss by, with spite, showing people that he will not get better at offense. You will miss his son.
You want me to score? No.
No, not going to do it. I will rebel against my own customer and fan base. I'm going to do this with defense. Watch me.
The weekend before, he interviewed with the Duke offensive coordinator, Kevin Johns, and I was so excited about that hire. All the Iowa fans were really pumped about that. Kirk saw it and was like, nah, they like him too much. We need someone they're going to hate.
I was waiting for you to get in to talk about the story of Stugotz. You've seen this. You could turn that music down. Thank you. We were talking before about how surprised I am just to see a Super Bowl in Vegas. That's not something I could have imagined. The way that Goodell talked about gambling back then, and it's just all been normalized.
Legalized.
Normalized and legalized. Not everywhere, right? Half the states still don't have gambling, but one of the things that you have to be vigilant against, Stugotz, is competitionaholics wanting competition away from what they do, and some of them going overboard in a way that's addictive and dangerous. And the LSU player that I recently read about, the number of bets that he made in 13 months suggests a giant gambling problem and not a lot of care with how you have to cover this stuff up if you don't want to get caught because more people are watching more than ever before.
One, I won't describe it as a problem because he racked in money. That guy was making so much. So Kayshon Boutte, former LSU wide receiver, placed almost 9,000 bets during his time at LSU, including
What?
Oh, so
Not
here-
$9,000 worth
No,
of bets. 9,000 bets is crazy.
So he
It's in like 13 months, correct?
Yes. So his total deposit was $132,000. He won over $500,000, and he only bet on himself several times.
I have a question here about the math because we're talking about 9,000 bets in a span of 13 months. That's 692 bets a month.
Yeah. That's Mike Ryan level.
Yeah.
I mean,
Whose picks are he following? Because I need to get on that.
His own, himself.
Well, he
controls it.
he should become a tout. I feel like if we're going to normalize this, you should be allowed to bet your own overs.
We tell athletes all the time to bet on yourself, and then when they actually do it, we get so mad. We get so angry at them.
You can't bet the unders, though.
Unless you
Unders
go
a
to
little
Iowa.
sketchy.
No, you
Unless
can't.
you
No,
go to
it's not
Iowa.
a little sketchy.
Unders a little sketchy.
And there will be some team problems involved.
Well,
with
alligator arms up the middle. Oh, I know what he's
No, you
doing.
can't do the unders, but the overs, you will also cause some team problems if your other wide receiver also has a gambling problem and he's
Right.
betting his own overs.
And then maybe you start to wonder if the quarterback is in on this,
That's
if he's
correct.
cutting them in. Hey, just get me over 6 catches. We're good,
You've now identified the problem.
That
yes.
is correct. That is the problem, and it's going to be very difficult to police. We are going to catch some of these people because, again, his cover-up was flawed. His disguise was not great.
Yes, he got caught because his username was Keishon Butte 1. So just his name and a number, and they caught him pretty fast.
It's actually
not really.
It's actually the perfect crime because you put it as Keishon Butte 1, and you're like, that wasn't me. My name is public record. Somebody could have done it for me.
You think I'm that stupid?
You can't call something the perfect crime when the person has been caught.
Well, he didn't do it right.
He won a lot of money. I think he did it right.
That's the problem. He won a ton of money. Everybody's like, whoa, who is that?
Put it on the poll, please. Can you call something the perfect crime if the architect of it was caught?
But one.
Yeah, but
Unless that was part of the crime. Think of Ocean's 11. Danny Ocean gets caught at the end. He goes to jail.
But does he?
But that was part of it.
does he have professional prospects, or did he now just become a tout? Did he now if I'm a company in Vegas, I'm bringing him out for the Super Bowl, and I'm like, I've got a guy. You're not going to believe his numbers. Documented.
What a great commercial he had.
Yeah, he started with $100,000. He bet on himself. He won $500,000. I think somebody needs to get behind that and make it even more normal.
I wanted to ask Lucy about something positive in Iowa because Iowa, their women's basketball team is playing at Northwestern tonight. And my daughter attends Northwestern, and she can't get a ticket. Now, she eventually got one because I purchased it for her, okay? But she could not get a ticket. I went online last night to get tickets for this game. It's sold out. The tickets in the secondary market are ridiculous. The economy that Caitlin Clark
Stugotz,
is.
I don't think, you correct me if I'm wrong here, Lucy, I do not believe that there are many tickets like this that are this hard to get in sports right now for regular season games. Anywhere across sports.
It's crazy.
Maybe in Europe, maybe with soccer, and probably playoff games, football playoff games, but I don't imagine a regular season ticket of any kind looks like this one does.
So Iowa, 32 games in the regular season. They have sold out 30 of those games. It is impossible to get tickets to see Caitlin Clark. On the higher end of the spectrum, people were paying thousands and thousands of dollars just to go see her on the road at Northwestern, at Ohio State. She has become such a valuable, just her own little market, and I love it. It is amazing what she's doing for the game, and she's bringing all these people in. When Iowa played Ohio State and they lost, and it hurt my feelings really bad, and one of the cool things you saw was when they panned over the crowd, you saw the parents in Ohio State t-shirts, and all their kids were wearing Caitlin Clark stuff, and it was just so cool, and I love her so much, and I'm so happy people are paying to see her.
Iowa correspondent.
She's so great.
If I may for a second, Stugotz, because we have now lived long enough, it's pretty cool, right? We started the show talking about the threat of little girls and women to a politically divided America that Taylor Swift represents too well the strength as, states try to govern women's bodies. To have seen what women's basketball has mushroom clouded into, where the streaming services are all going to want content, Stugotz, and you got South Carolina and LSU outdoing Celtics Heat because this is such a hot pop culture thing. The women were ahead of the men on the social causes.
Yes.
During George Floyd. The women have had it harder than the men at every turn. During the pandemic, they're walking into weight rooms that are wildly ill-equipped for what it is that they're actually birthing in terms of money and economy. To watch now mushroom in front of us, it's going to be Steph against Sabrina in a three-point competition where we're going to do Battle of the Sexes modernized style with the NBA, which has supported the WNBA better than men have supported women almost anywhere, because the NBA birthed that league, has supported that league at a loss to create what now is in front of you, which is a pipeline of dreamers who say, I want to be Caitlin Clark, and the lines are out the door. It really has been, over the last 15 years, to see America go backward one way, where you're legislating women's bodies over here, but to see sports rise up over here in a way that will demand money and power soon, Stugotz, because they're now all underpaid. Caitlin Clark is keeping together an economy here and isn't making enough, even though she's very well paid. She, like LeBron, is worth more than the entire economy and city of rebirth that she has brought around her. It's crazy to watch.